We're all more than capable of getting angry, whether that is angry with ourselves for sort of not doing something that we should and then wishing that we had, or angry at the mistreatment that others have shown to us, angry at tolerating other people's mistreatment of us. And when you can't express your feelings in a healthy way, it can bubble over and it can build up into that resentment. And then when you hit the resentment, you can potentially lash out at somebody. And if you're lashing out at a narcissistic person, they're going to absolutely lap this up. They love gaining that reaction from you. They love getting under your skin. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel special. You can talk to them till you're blue in the face, and it just doesn't compute with most narcissistic individuals. They're just going to twist it to their advantage. Narcissistic rage is similar when feelings of anger or resentment get built up. And rage is an intense emotional reaction. And when it comes to narcissistic individuals, their rage usually comes if their self-inflated image is threatened, if their authority is threatened, if their entitlement is threatened. So where you can potentially begin to become resentful because somebody keeps promising to do something with you, claiming that they wanted to do it too, and lets you down at the last minute, and it builds up that resentment, or they do things that you find inappropriate. With a narcissistic individual, them asking you to help them with something, and you say, no, I'm ever so sorry, I've got something on with family, I can do it tomorrow. They get offended by this. You've not put them first, and they should be your priority. Therefore, their rage is often a defense mechanism aimed at protecting themselves, protecting their ego, protecting their feelings, avoiding feelings such as shame, inadequacy, vulnerability. Unlike genuine anger, which can be a healthy expression of frustration, narcissistic rage is often disproportionate and very volatile. And it's aimed at them regaining control and asserting their dominance over others. And when it comes to narcissists and their rage, because of the place that they're coming from, they will happily wind you up. And then when you react, they'll accuse you of overreacting. They'll accuse you of acting in a disproportionate manner to their behaviour. It makes them feel better. When narcissists rage out, they can rage out, like anyone can, with the verbal outbursts. Narcissistic people, however, lash out with verbal aggression, such as yelling, yet they include insults and name calling, not calling people out on their unjust behaviour. Often the narcissist projects their behaviour and accuses the other person of being controlling. The narcissist's verbal outbursts serves to intimidate people, to make people feel guilty, to assert their control back over the situation. So they're going to verbally attack you in ways that makes you question who you are and feel bad about yourself and pander to the narcissist's needs. Narcissists can go all out to shift the blame, where a genuine person usually reflects on what they've done and the entirety of the situation and what they could perhaps do better. A narcissist, in an attempt to deflect responsibility, will blame other people for their feelings of anger. They will project their flaws onto the person who's triggered their rage, insisting that the other person is the problem. And when you're dealing with a narcissist that's provoking a reaction from you, the narcissist usually is the problem. When they've lied to you, cheated on you, deceived you. However, you won't have done any of these things to a narcissist. You will have perhaps just called them out on them lying to you, and they take offence to this. They can fall silent and sulk, like a toddler, pouting, not getting their own way. especially when you've said no to them. Instead of direct confrontation, which we can all potentially want to avoid, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's not pleasant going for direct confrontation with a narcissistic individual. So some narcissistic individuals will resort to the silent treatment to try and punish you, to get you to chase them, to get you to work harder to please them. By refusing to communicate, they attempt to punish and manipulate the situation to their advantage, creating that tense atmosphere and forcing the other person to seek their approval. Now, when you've been lied to or disrespected by someone, you can often shut down, especially when dealing with a narcissist, because you don't want to face their wrath if you do dare to call them out on their behaviour, which builds that resentment. That alone doesn't make you a narcissistic individual. Narcissistic individuals have that pattern of behaviour with their lack of empathy and their sense of entitlement. They can come at you with the explosive anger. A narcissistic rage can manifest in that explosive anger. However, they're very good usually at controlling this anger depending on who's around, whereas a victim often can't control their anger because they've had their emotions manipulated to a point where they've lost control over their own emotions. Narcissistic individuals can suddenly erupt into rage over seemingly minor incidents, such as you've not quite cooked their meal to their liking. So they tip the whole table in the air and blame you and expect you to clean up after them. This unpredictability instills fear in those around them, and it gets the narcissist back in control, perceived control of the situation. Narcissists will use threats and intimidation. Narcissists use threats, whether physical, emotional, financial, as a way to regain power and control over the situation or over the person. It can often involve subtle or covert or overt intimidation tactics that instill fear and instill compliance. Narcissists can go all out with the mass smear campaign. Now, this isn't them speaking the truth of the situation. This is them twisting the facts and going all out to ruin your reputation in response to being called out or being criticised or potential threat of exposure. A narcissist will often launch a mass smear campaign against any of those who dare to stand up to them, any of those who dare to trigger their rage. They spread those lies, they exaggerate faults, and they recruit others to join in. They recruit enablers and flying monkeys to attack the person who they've lost control over. They can also go for self-destructive behaviour, such as reckless behaviour. So this is when a narcissist will often find a new source of supply, embark on affairs. That not only hurts the person around the narcissist, but what people don't realise is this actually hurts the narcissist themselves. Yes, it's all well and good in the first 6 months while the narcissist is getting their fix and getting their needs met, but it's a cycle that repeats. So they then go into that reckless behaviour of the affairs, the substance abuse, the risky activities, and they often drag other people along for the ride. This serves as an outlet for their anger. It can draw attention to themselves to gain sympathy. They're looking for that attention. They're smearing the other person's name, so they're getting the validation that they're not the issue, but they're just repeating the toxic patterns. Any signs of narcissistic rage that you notice, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. I do have a few one-to-one slots available. I also have several books out on Amazon if you'd like to go and check those out. These are How to Create Boundaries Around Those Who Have No Respect for Your Boundaries, a Narcissist Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, Healing from Narcissistic Abuse, a guided journal to empowerment and recovery, 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact, and the relatively new book, Hilarious and Horrifying Narcissistic Memes and Their Meanings. If anyone would like to check those out, they are all available on Amazon. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.